Ad Astra Avisa.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please.
Wait.
And if possible, please also use your.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince.
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenary.
Paimon's gotta ask.
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she... So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the... In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace. And I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Fair... You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where every... Huh? Wasn't it? No! We aren't pitying you. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunya? Yes, I paid her a visit right after her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the... But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what this... Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage... So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the Sage's activities. Oh, good point. Let's continue our... Okay, so do you think... Actually, I've already done a little bit... I've already tried that. But all the key members of the... It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks. Have you already caught the Sages? I'm guessing not yet. But this trip... In any case, No way, that's too... You mean it'd be too... No, it's not that. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish... That's a good point. We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their... After all... Nahida, you're super smart. According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will get... Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously. Well, I've been thinking that if I can't, then I should find someone who's already... You're saying we should recruit a spot? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Actually, I already have someone in mind. Setaria. We ran into her basically every time this Paimon still remembers the I've always liked that she was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special. The name Setaria means star. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the... Soon after, the star witnessed the sun's... The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, but in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, Setaria... But she doesn't really support the academia. She's still... Indeed. When they are presented with complex she's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already been right. We must somehow... That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from tomorrow afternoon, just happens to prepare. Let's go check out some... This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we... No, I already have enough information on Sataria. Talking style?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears.
Huh? Really?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts.
It would seem that Harut and
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
health prospects. Oh, the gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for... many tens of thousands of years? Impossible. Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune-telling you've ever done.
I admit that the Orient...
Is that so?
If you were to bring some food offerings for... I've never seen Harut...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls? Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him...
Ah, dear customers! Would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you...
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret. And I simply changed trades when my works turned out well.
That's nice.
So is your father...
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his...
I see. Wait, I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for...
No problem. Rest easy.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia. So she always comes... Nahida, you've really thought of everything. It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh?
If I recall...
That's right! After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get into the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Sure. But you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well?
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
So, was that everybody? Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria. What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems. Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of King Deshret. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot. Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages. Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would... So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked... Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had any... Ah, so that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them. Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them. Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess it. That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if... Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does she have to do this? Can't you do it yourself? Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them. You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious. If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone. All right, then let... Here she comes. Satori is here! Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking, as for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say. Paimon's starting to feel kinda nervous. Okay, let's go. Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking...
Okay then. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortuned...
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No. The gods are asking. Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sataria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now.
I'm sorry. I know And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshret.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such a demand. Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in—
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish—
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset, too. Well done. Sataria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core. Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human All I know are some abstract Harabatop theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be other. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sataria. She's out of Keems now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away!
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old man's craft. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Oh, that's good to hear. I've been thinking a lot about him. Actually, while we're talking about him,
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
if you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Den.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you—
Akeem, you don't mean...
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway.
Come on! Sataria's already...
So, Shishan, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about
Oh, right. Speaking of strange, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost
Wait, how could you be aware of that?
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never—
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the gods!
This is the most important.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct?
Please, try to
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
King Deshret, many people I know have suddenly started—
Miss Sataria, nothing.
You know my name?
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you child of King Deshret. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really—
How do you know me so well?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judge— If you could provide some assistance in this matter.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in Sarah. Please tell me, what can I—
How much do you know of—
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified— However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose.
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closed— let me see—
The Academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to handle—
All right, I trust you.
So,
That'll depend on the
the Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Maybe it's time for me to find a god.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed the Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves all the... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening... Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars? No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in your mind. Shh! We're on a secret mission tonight. Yep, Paimon's right. We cannot fully... If something were to happen, my existence after all, the Academia should still be unable to confirm the existence of my consciousness. Yep. Exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Off? What do you feel is up? It's the middle of the... No, I think she's right. If you look around, there seems to be fewer people on the streets. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sitar... I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. Well, regardless... people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the Academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
No, what should we do? These are all just regular people. Leave now. You need to get out of here. What? That guy's a Fatui Harbinger! We can't just leave you here! Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru! Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the God of Wisdom.
This should be far enough. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger here, let alone such a high-ranking one. That guy was he called himself the Doctor. Remember? And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Sounds like she... Yeah. Now that the Doctor's in the picture, we're no longer just the... But what are the Fatui... Yeah. Things Nahida said we'll meet again outside of the city. You mean... Oh, right! Wasn't he invited even though he turned it down at the time? There's no time to lose.
Hold it right there. A blonde-haired traveler and a floating fairy. We've got you all right. Take a look around.
Are you...
Corps of 30? We are an elite brigade that commands the highest commission rate.
The outcast? But why wouldn't the Doctor just send the Fatui after us?
Still wasting...
You're up, traveler!
Following orders. As one with wind and cloud.
Prepare to be blown away!
Verdigers? I'll take my
Sunblade!
new punch.
Everybody stand back!
That's close enough. Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strike.
Let's light it up!
It isn't over yet! Here comes reinforcements! Windblade!
You won.
That was pretty rough. Is that what elite mercenary? Yeah. Looks like we'll have... But this doctor guy seems like a pretty tough going up against... doing alright?
To be honest, I'm not. As a result, Master Tainari is taking me off the patrol.
Oh, Kale. Speaking of Tainari, did he go up?
Oh, Master Tainari? You just left.
He left? What?
I thought it was weird too. Master Tainari always prioritizes his work as a forest watcher, but no. I only found out that he left through a message he left behind. To leave in such. Master Tainari originally studied in the Immorta Dar. I know that before he became a forest watcher, Master Tainari once spent a long time conducting research at Party's DI.
A research base, huh? Oh, we don't have a lot of time, so let's go look for him at Party's DI.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
Got it. Will do. See you. Wait! Look who it is! Thank goodness you're okay. We were so worried about you. Hey, this was supposed to be a touch.
Actually, it's very smart of the Traveler to be wary of me, right? Plus, it's not like you could have known what happened after even a pool of stagnant water after a torrential storm.
Paimon feels like only the real Nahida could come up with such.
Huh? But
Well, we understand that point now.
when you left, I was still in the middle of restoring everyone's minds. Instead, he did something closer. Luckily, I managed to finish my restorations and my...
What a relief.
I wouldn't be relieved. I gave away my true identity when I also... The doctor is already an ex...
Would that mean you'd no longer be able to jump between minds? Then, how do we stop him? He's still at the academia, so... It feels like plus. The doctor's combat ability...
We shouldn't give up hope just yet.
Actually, Nahida, how did you know we were trying to get to Party's DI?
Yes, I have. I can see the Traveler's elemental energy. So I deduced you didn't come here for some...
We're looking for a scholar we know. His name is Tainari.
Okay, let's...
Traveler?
It's Hypatia!
What a pleasant surprise!
Who's this?
She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest when we last saw you.
That's right, we're old friends.
Hypatia, you're way too excited. Wait, no.
My consciousness has...
You did it? Congratulations!
It's so when my consciousness made contact with the god.
That sounds incredible!
Oh, all right. Remember? I promise my current self has not only gained true
You can do that?
I've never heard of anything like that.
Hold on. I brought some spirit born ale with...
Where are you?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll...
Okay,
Ready?
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounce the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
What was that? Did we actually just see the Balladeers? But how is he connected to the...
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic... Alas, if only that which beats within my chest wasn't a...
Do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no Puripurna life, but rather...
Ah! You... What? I found divine wisdom.
Apasia?
That's how I always thought... Wait, have I... already lost my mind?
Wait, something isn't right. Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida?
Oh, the Traveler's back?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped after that. Kainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here. What? You swapped places? Wait, then where is Nahida?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Also, while we were running, the doctor has found a way to trap my conscious, but even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight.
Oh no! Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague. Oh, that makes sense! Since the doctor captured her, even in a moonless night, a shower... Huh. Paimon knew... Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria. Oh, but she isn't with...
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana, correct? Does this mean...
Your guess is correct, but...
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side.
Thank you, Tighnari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a...
Ah, that. All I know is that the project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body? What?
Do you have any evidence? So that's what happened. That explains why
Tighnari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but if I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert. Now that you mention it, I knew but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 for 2. From your description, I don't think they... But then...
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals. Right, we've pretty much gone over everything we need.
I'll stay here for now. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Ribat. Come find me here if there's anything else I can...
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully Hypatia...
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses the spirit. But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops. Time to go. I follow the wind. One with nature.
Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh.
Enough gawking. Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Over here.
Oh, Hazen went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
What the? Where did she go? How did we lose them? They were just...
More Eremite mercenaries? How are they?
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to... All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the Academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd... Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the Academia?
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the Academia's hit list. However, had I wished to turn you over to the Academia...
Oh, right. You do
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating. Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually... Which brings me back to you. And the leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge capsule right in front of you. And upon seeing him, your expression to have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized...
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of...
So that's your answer. Well, but that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the... No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are all...
That's right! We have the same plan as you! But we don't
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel.
It's always better to travel with some...
Time to go. Follow the wind. Yeah. The wind knows me. Time to go.
Before us lies Aru Village.
Whoa. This land...
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when...
Alhaitham, do not think you can escape my judgment.
Judgment?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to...
Seemed to me more like your... Yes. General Mahamatra Sino. Head of all the
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham. If I were you, I'd never choose to... I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you.
Has Alhaitham done something wrong?
I won't waste my breath explaining. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you...
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a mantra.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. And why, as General as far as I'm aware, the other... Have you been given a mission that... If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority...
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two?
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great, finally! You gotta help us out here.
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality, but how dare you bring your petty disputes into this? It seems like someone's gonna have to... Hey, did either of you...
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so...
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly! We have...
Someone's calling for us!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two.
All right.
Well, this... Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace.
Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's...
There's no need to thank me.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister.
All right. Now that we're all back, as a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, and now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that... So please, have an honest... If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh,
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make my...
All right. I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of the...
Wait, that was you...
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Alhaitham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development file. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request. But I began to realize that, unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request. The power of the General Mahamatra is grand. I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless. I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scared. Well, Sino...
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now
Yes. I was indeed After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me. Unfortunately, their words contained one key piece of information. Namely, that divine knowledge. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the divine knowledge capsule. In the end, had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Einal.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you?
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the academia I was waiting, so it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile.
Criminals do love to talk about.
Even though I ran into the traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing. You were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
That's true. Alhaitham...
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth. I took the divine knowledge capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a After all...
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham. Answer me this. Did the sage...
Have I not made myself clear? You...
Fine. Although you...
As you wish.
Good. I'm glad to see you and now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boy... My situation is pretty straightforward. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru Village for a visit. I was actually looking for, but then I saw these two random guys in the middle of...
Is that all? Well...
That's more like it.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats...
Creatures?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone...
Yeah, just leave him to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough...
The wind's died down. That Candace still isn't back yet.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried.
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost...
Here comes another wave!
Leave this...
It's been quite a while since I've seen the flame...
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go!
Be gone!
As one with wind and cloud!
I'm going in! Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up?
100.
The creature stopped appearing.
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sand.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking... I am the chief of Aru Village.
Sir, I am also originally from the
I can't say they've always been common. But recently, the storms, besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator...
Another... So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest.
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul.
Everyone in Aru Village. Speaking of which,
Village Keeper?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village, most of them are scholars who lost The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of...
Alas, that's exactly what we've been... But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If...
I've had encounters with those people in the past.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no...
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino?
I'll be grateful for the assistance. Let's start by finding a spot to...
Time to go.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before? One of my former subordinates told me that the academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru when mad scholars first arrive. Initially, the people of Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night. All the houses remained up after that. The people of Aru Village...
The soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru? Paimon thinks so too. Actually,
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the academia could still monitor.
Oh, no wonder!
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story... So, what do you make of the story? Really?
What? You don't believe us?
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reason. Lesser Lord Kusanali. The academia has always placed far greater importance on the late greater... In addition, I've never heard any stories about
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... How should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind...
I've spent many years in
Good! Then you should...
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser... How can this be? To think.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to... But easier said than done. Especially since...
Excuse me, are you here to...
Huh?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak.
Is your grandpa mad?
Hey, don't say that.
The person you're referring to is not a local.
Grandpa is just I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was.
Whoa. Haven wasn't kidding about Matra having...
Sorry. I was only listening in because I...
All right.
super vigilant.
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you.
Huh? You...
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the... Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the... Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance, and one summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the next morning. Isak woke up and wanted to go find his... It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be lived. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would fall...
All this somehow just makes
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship. It's also my reason.
Maybe the people have always...
Huh? What?
No, nothing. As long as Isak keeps his word and...
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I...
Hey, Isak!
Oh, it's you,
We've cleared everything up!
Really? Yeah!
All right.
Excuse me, did you have...
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw, but honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them.
Do you also think
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Esau. He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be It still feels pretty surreal. Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look.
Gotcha.
Stay safe. Don't get hurt.
Sir, have you...
Oh, well, if it isn't... The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about...
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, I've known you since you were very young.
Wow, what?
Okay, thank...
Huh? Don't say any... Let's head over there. Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty King Deshret, the sovereign...
Yes, of course I have. King Deshret is the one and only true ruler of the... Still, you say he's coming back, but
Haven't you noticed? The village has begun. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of King Deshret's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connect. Isn't it a sign of King Deshret's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared?
Huh. Now that you say it.
Exactly. Those.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from.
Huh? Who are you?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else.
Let's not get on his bad side.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about King.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor. Hey, go. It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals. Delavar also said that once King Deshret returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the up.
Is that?
Seems like he still wants.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty.
The people here really like King Deshret, but...
Where is this
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he...
No, not at all.
Sounds like you're not too
no, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking, so you'd best just stay home. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of...
Yes, got it.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's...
I heard.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we... Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
Join the Eremites and embrace a wonderful new life.
Grandpa, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. Well, this is where Grandpa usually...
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please, but are you okay?
There's a scent that you can sense.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully...
So, you know...
Huh? You know him?
Yes. Now that I can't...
Wait, surely...
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Taino? In the forest. From a scar...
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been complete from the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one. The scent is quite faint, but still extant.
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just, hey, what's wrong with liking good—
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, even deep within the clutches of madness. They still yearn for the—
No.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the
It's highly
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others.
Right.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back. Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh,
You bet. So, everything—
Reasonably.
I'll hate them—
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village and—
Did you find out anything useful? I see.
The resurrection of King Deshret? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many— Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. It seems someone from beyond the wall—
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back—
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well—
If Paimon remembers correctly—
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and these guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in King Deshret. Way they see it, King Deshret's resurrection is their only— Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway—
Tia! You're amazing! You really know—
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern—
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying— Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like the desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fight— I need to go around and ask some questions. But good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the Mad Scholar—
All right, sounds like a plan.
Sino, please don't take offense.
I don't mind.
Ah, I see. Well,
No, it's natural to fear strength.
Well, here we are again.
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sand? It was only after I grew up that I realized the Wall of Samiel isn't. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers, we're cheap labor. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. Besides, we're here to
Yep, we got it!
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you... Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern, maybe... Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see...
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink?
Zaki.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's...
We've had drinks. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall.
Yeah. Have you seen Enger
Of course I have.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends...
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides...
Yes, how considerate of you.
Are we there yet?
Yep,
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar...
So, you've been watching it?
Uh-oh.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought...
So you and Delavar have been part...
Dia! I guess it's only Nat, but you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's no...
If that's the case, then I'm sure...
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're...
Delavar. And Enger. You're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers...
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller...
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views...
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just the...
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and...
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders.
Wind strike! Clouds high. The birds come!
Me. Take that!
Into the wind!
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. That's what you thought.
You lied in the...
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought... Okay.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aruville?
No task can be done without preparation.
Oh, but instead of...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked...
Wait, so he's a radical?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making...
Wow! What?
Ah, you're too kind. It was
So, that thing? About how mercenaries...
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia? Do you dislike the
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of...
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in King Deshret.
But I see through it all. And unlike them...
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Travel... This should be all of them. All right. Well,
Candace, do you need...
Candace will be okay on her own. She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now.
While I'm questioning them.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots...
Hey, Dia!
Right on time.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to...
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely...
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial...
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is. And shoulder us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're...
Really?
Oh, Sino's here, and he's...
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogate...
Oh,
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my Still, it's perfectly.
Yes, please.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves. Yet you do not hesitate to place the ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community. You come here to my village, and you treat.
Mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may all be desert dwellers. But there's one thing that the people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again.
Yes, it was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection and talked us into helping him.
That's one.
Huh?
Strike.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. You gotta believe me, please.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you that guy. He wears a cloak.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, some time ago, people from the academia attempted to It strikes me now that this
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the Village Keepers right into their hands. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back?
Not the academia again.
Just as but what could they want with the—
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. Regardless.
You're right. Isaka's
time to go. Let's leave the village and try to—
Yes.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's... Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come...
Well, as you can see...
You were gone for ages! Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking...
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly... There's just nothing super obvious to...
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and...
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we... Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're all talk!
While you were investigating, I had my own...
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have not to mention that going separate ways...
Huh? Right here in the...
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone.
What is that?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word?
You mean, some of them...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no... Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, the reason being, to someone who...
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated.
Right.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them.
Remember? She made a point of denying her...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru... By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted...
I'll pass on. You said that she is afraid of...
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've...
Mr. Alhaitham.
Huh? What do you...
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says before. I wouldn't... Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be... But even so, we have friends in Sumeru.
My apologies for posing my questions like that.
Alhaitham told us you had...
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors.
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped...
You can tell them.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing. Perhaps. I'm not sure. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived...
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather...
There's really nothing around these parts.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar.
Yeah!
Time to go.
Is this the place?
Welcome to the swamp.
Monsters! Watch out!
Wind and cloud.
Be gone!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Fallen leaves, adorn my knuckle. Burning tears.
Prepare to be blown away!
Wind strike! The clouds high. The birds come! Let's light it up! Everybody stand back!
Yeah! super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
Hey, I hate them.
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh?
So,
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, what good is that gonna do for you? You're acting like one of those annoying grown-ups who go, "Hey, what gives?" Shut up. Oh, right. Okay then. Thank you for working so hard and earning so much more. If it weren't for you, thank you. Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
there it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital... Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms. Trainee Forest Ranger call...
The wind knows me.
That's close enough.
Into the wind.
Time for retribution!
Windblade!
As one with wind and cloud. Wind strike!
Prepare to be blown away! Right this on for size! Look! There's the... Good idea! Let's approach...
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and also, why...
Didn't expect to see him.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too?
No. And that Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being... Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded...
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if the symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! Now...
Correct. The Academia... It isn't difficult to deduce their ration. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keeper. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory too, but there's still one very important question.
Throughout this process, one thing is first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And an exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly...
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brain...
Extracted?
With the technology of the Sumeru, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is what...
So, the human brain...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge or perhaps his curiosity got...
Hyman's a little...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life. However, the academia is going out of their way to look for. I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule.
You mean you're not even slight?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but on extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of.
Sounds like you're really against.
Of course. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its. This matter needs to be.
Wait! Didn't you step.
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same.
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply, the divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are.
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after.
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as.
Yep, pretty much!
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village, since Divine can't yet. They fled once we were headed to the.
Yeah!
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our
Huh? Are our friendships that.
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next word.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is interesting. And here I thought.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive if you want to raise a vicious wolf.
The academia?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have every so often comes on Yagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once.
You're saying that the academia but what's the point in doing that?
The Akasha is capable of The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However...
So that's how it is. Sino adhere. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. Sino, don't take it to heart.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I'm...
Whoa, you bounced back.
There is always an opportunity.
Oh, so that's if the academia is trying to... Yep,
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! Please, wait! I want to go too. I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like...
Time to go.
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need...
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because... Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks...
This is definitely a device used to...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along...
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry. Your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or...
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone...
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is.
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do.
I knew it.
Dia? Why would you? Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh? Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? What?
Well...
This complicates...
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the... Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for your...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of—
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone.
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether—
It's not too late yet. The village keep...
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon, with these scholars in our custody, will stomp that.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia control... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against...
They look more like pawns of the academia. Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all...
It's impossible, perhaps.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But these scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand...
Wait, you can't be serious.
So...
Precisely.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you and...
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance... I'm not trying to persuade you.
You are the scribe.
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the academia.
You academia scum. Every last one of you.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said? You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman. Don't be a coward. If you're...
An arm from the... What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even...
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman?
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this...
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take it...
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with it if it came down to it.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more, even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and...
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find you.
Whatever it takes? You just might.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is a...
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow...
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance.
Okay.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless.
Follow the wind. Time to go. Clear weather all around brightens the heart. Time to go. follow the wind. Follow the wind. The wind knows me. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Follow the wind. Time to go.
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than...
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his...
It's a one-for-one exchange. And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro are...
You stay right...
Playmate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa! Paimon.
This day's going just great.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. It glowed green with Dendro. Just like you said. The Dendro are gone.
Grandpa?
Hey, look...
Did there used to be a temple?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, the symbols on the gate belonged to King Deshret's civilization. This structure, it could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict.
He said that...
As it happens,
What are you doing?
don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord, 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power.
Paimon thought you weren't in.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. New discoveries are always worth investigating.
Raman, what are you gonna do?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will...
Grandpa? Gonna be epic.
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Rama.
Huh? Are you mocking me?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. What?
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to be angry about.
It does seem kind of strange. If that's true...
Time to go. Time to go. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Windblade.
verdict is...
Be gone!
As one with wind and cloud! Wind Strider! Into the wind! The wind knows me. Time to go. One with nature.
I'm going in!
Burn!
Yeah!
Wind Strider!
Windblade!
Let's light it up!
Verdict is...
Wind strike! Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Prepare to be blown away!
Now that's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret room.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious.
There's still something off about this place. The scent of life.
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among the... Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite.
Isn't sharing knowledge a...
Yes. However, you'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
But this...
Was that the former...
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt you've just witnessed it.
I've never... The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aruville. King Deshret's death. The all but... We saw her as nothing more than a traitor. Who stabbed us in the back in our moment.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this from... How could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known.
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a...
Dia, my Eremites, and I.
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. I should probably go.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. But please, give me some time.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with.
When would be a good time for us?
Tomorrow. And I'll return every last one of your mad... sorry.
You seem to finally understand.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's...
That must have been rough, but he seems to...
Raman's no fool. Being the leader, it's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret.
The outcome, at least, is...
We should get going too. Let's head back. Have a problem... Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Raman,
Everything's been arranged. Someone will...
I guess all I can say now.
Don't mention it. But we share a
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the...
There's no need to yell.
We've been all over the desert!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on...
You should have known that
Wait, we were just following orders. You know...
No, not Sino.
I could do.
Please have...
Start talking.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They,
Don't play dumb. They extract divine canned
Well, you better start...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy...
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doc. The doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, he asked them.
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme...
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing... After that, they harvested dreams via the Seb-Zeru with the doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's Mad. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what... If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the god of...
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise... It is as if they are cursed with a desire for Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom...
Then what does Lesser Lord Is she not a true god present in this...
From the beginning, when the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, they found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither... Slowly but surely,
So...
All right, let's try to keep our cool. Raman, give me a few men to help us...
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to...
Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can...
Oh! Paimon!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some...
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand,
What a whirlwind of a story.
It seems like there'll be more issues to...
Still, now's a good time to make our next move.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flake...
So,
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That.
Well, let's brainstorm a little...
The next time we gather here,
yep, it'll work.